What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another drawing tutorial. Yuta domain expansion. I'm on a landscape page. Use a pencil, use an eraser. Hit pause if I go too fast. It's kind of, yeah, he's holding his sword, hand up. And that ring is like on his finger. So, what's going on with my mouse? Okay, let's go. He's got massive eyes. Really big. So let's give this a go. We'll go diagonal. We're like pretty much middle, probably above the halfway. And then we'll go down. He has very downturned eyelids. So this is going to be much thicker, but I'll get the general shape in first, right? Down there. Seems to go in. And then it just curves around the bottom. So very big eyes. And then he has like bags around the bottom of his eye, like these sort of wrinkles and stuff. So I'll thicken up this. So we want to make it a darker sort of line. Very dark at the front. It goes underneath his eyebrow, but we'll use the eyebrow to cover some of it maybe. Bring this a bit further. Okay, so that's kind of what we're talking about for his eye shape. Might be a bit of a shadow in here as well. Right, his iris down turned, half circle coming down from the eyelid. His pupil's tiny. Beep. Kind of looking up. His eyebrow then, he's frowning real heavy, right? So it's starting there and it's going to cut across this way. We'll give him an eyelid line. And then thicken up the eyebrow at the front. So you can color that black as well, but I might do it the same color as his hair, which is kind of a really dark gray color. Right, so we've got like another frowning line sort of in here. And then some like lines down this way, some hatching. He's got those cuts over his face, but I'll do them at the end. Okay, his nose just beside this. Now remember, if I go too fast, hit pause, okay? Because sometimes I know I do. So we'll go down for his nose, right? Just here. You could leave a gap. They do in the, they leave a little gap here, but you could go the whole way down if you wanted, but I'll stay as close to the original as I can. And then we go around, back that way. There's another little line going there, might as well. Right, so we get his other eye in, so it's like he's in 3/4, right, and we're kind of looking down at him. So this eye, like this one's sort of flat this way, but the other eye goes like angled up, right, follows the sort of angle of his eyebrow. So say if I put the eyebrow in first, and it's kind of like a check mark that goes this way. Angle is fairly far up there. And then we'll bring it back down, get thicker as we go down to the front. And then like his top eyelash sort of goes there. And then the eye curves around, again, real big, in towards his nose. And then we've got like an eyelid line there. So it's kind of, a lot of it's hidden underneath his eyebrow, you know. And again, he's looking up. So you do a little circle coming down from the top eyelid. And we can see a bit of the pupil, like it's very small, kind of like there looking over. And then he's got those like texture lines underneath his eyelid again. So we can see like the side of his face and his sort of forehead here coming down to the nose, and then the mouth goes back over here. So say if I did just like his cheek first, just box this off like that, right? And it kind of just connects with his eye. And then his kind of eyebrow area sort of bumps there. And then that goes like underneath his hair, kind of up there somewhere. So then if this face line kept going, it would hit his mouth just underneath his nostril here. So if we go like just this letter M is the way I always like to do it, especially when characters are side on. And this will continue down to his chin. So it's an unusual angle now. Everything here looks like real big compared to down here. It's a bit of perspective. And his chin will go back like this way and hit his jaw, then start going there. You can see the angle of his face a bit more clearer now. So to draw in his mouth, so just say see the center of the M here, this stretched out letter M, there's two bumps. So if I did his top lip just going there, looks like he has a closed mouth, but we want it to be open, so go down there, still closed, but then we will open by drawing another section around here. And then we just shadow places that aren't teeth, right? So behind his teeth is black. And then the corner of his mouth, just there. And you can add like a little bit of a bottom lip, sort of like that. Right, I'll keep going with his jaw. To about there. And then his jawbone goes up towards his ear. So we'll do his ear in here. And then we have all hair spikes kind of hanging down here. So we'll give him his sort of his sideburn. And then we start to get those long sort of hair spikes that he has. Eventually get to the top of his forehead somewhere here. So I'd say like his hairline would be like there. Do like some hair spikes coming this way as well. to be some sort of behind his head. Maybe, but his sword is there, so I'll leave it like that for the minute. Right, and his ear lines. The letter J is always the easiest way. Then you could like build it up if you wanted. So we can't see any more here, so I'll just do like this just on this side. And his head is probably going to go off my page back there. And then the back of it will come down over here somewhere. Sort of hangs down over his neck. His neck will go into his collar. You got some hair spikes just behind it there. Textures. Okay, scars. So we'll give him the scars that are, or the cuts from, I think it's from Cleave. Now, so we have a hand coming up here and a hand holding the sword. So we got to do like the hand in front first. And as he's doing like this sort of pose, right? So the tips of his finger probably like come over his face a bit. So I'll do onto his chin here. We'll go. This will be his index finger. His middle finger comes up higher. Then his ring finger's behind that. And the pinky is always below. So these will like bump their way down this way. And this one stops about halfway down because the thumb is here, sitting on top of it, right? Maybe a bit lower actually. Just where's the thumb? He's got a hand behind him. We'll go there, yeah. This will be his thumb. Like so. And then the skin of the thumb is kind of like this. We have some sort of hand lines, like the knuckles and stuff. Hands are tricky now, so hit pause a lot if I move too fast. Hands are always hard, they never get easy really. Thumbnail there. And we have knuckle lines. Excuse me. And like his fingernail. There, sort of. This fingernail on top here. This side. Fingernail on the pinky, smallest one. Okay, and you obviously erase this. Okay. So his other hand is holding his sword. So we can just see like the back of his sort of knuckles here. 2 fingers and a thumb is all we can see. So this one comes down, and then we got like the ring. There, and then to a knuckle, down to the tip of the finger. You can see like a fingernail. And then the other finger up to his knuckle, down into there, knuckle lines, side of the finger there. His thumb then sort of curls around here. You can see the thumbnail. Hilt or handle, should I say, of sword just sticks up here. So, and it can be bumpy because it's that Japanese kind of, you know, fabric wrapped around it. So it has, you know, a bit of texture to it and stuff. It's wrapped with thread around the handle. Classic Japanese katana style. So unique, instantly recognizable. And then we got like diamonds coming down the middle. And this is just by virtue of the way that the thread wraps around, it always leaves this little sort of gap. You know, there's like a bit of texture on these. Some people just like to color that. They don't even put texture on it, you know, they just color it solid. Right, and then, so his collar is quite high up, right? Comes out, say, here. And goes down towards the middle finger. There's like an inside section. Then I guess he should have like a neck muscle sort of there. And we'll go collar down. A few fold lines and all that good stuff for fabric. And then this shoulder goes that way. And we've got, again, sort of little sort of folding lines just because, you know, it's fabric. So his arm from this hand goes this way, diagonally. And I always say to people, like, you know, my page is too small or it's too big. If, like, say if you got your, if you're like up here when your arm is finished, say if you drew things smaller, you can just cut your page. And if you drew things too big, you can tape a page down here and keep drawing. That's what I normally do anyway. Make your page bigger or smaller to suit your scale. That's his arm, that's his hoodie in there, and then his shoulder. Down that way. Right. That's what a lot of illustrators do. So what they'll do is they'll, like, if they got down to here and they wanted to like extend his arm, they would tape a page here, right down the bottom, draw that, and then they would transfer that image by whatever method they use to a bigger page, or even do it digitally then, you know, because we got lots of tech now because we're modern. So there's lots of little things you can do, solutions to problems that the professionals do and they don't say, or it's not commonly known. But, you know, just don't worry about running a room is all I'm trying to say. You can just tape page or cut page. Yuta, domain expansion. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.